Still looking at the Lagos environment. This time we're speaking with an environmental consultant in the person of Ido Salau. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Nice to meet you guys.
I'm sure you were baffled with what happened in Lagos over the weekend, but were you really surprised? What do you think is at the root of this flooding challenge in Lagos?
I wasn't baffled.
Okay.
We know it. It's going to come. But we don't know how soon. We had the prediction. We were told we will have early rainfall and it's going to be heavy. Did we prepare for it? No.
When you say we now?
Yes, all of
who?
us. Government, citizen, and everybody.
So what have they been doing wrongly? And what has the government been doing wrongly as well over time? Not just now, since many years ago, because it has become a perennial problem in the state. So what is it that the government and the people of Lagos are just not getting right?
See, I will answer your question, but I want us to focus on the post-impact of the flooding. We all know what causes flooding. Even my little 8-year boy was asking me, why is there too much water on the street?
Maybe you want to educate us more on exactly what causes it, and then we can talk about what to do following it. Okay.
We have both natural and human-made. Natural causes, you know, the terrain of Lagos, flat terrain, coastal community. We have both Atlantic and the lagoon. And effect of climate change, all these are the ones that are some of the causes. Then the man-made, we talk of reclamation going on every nook and cranny of the island. And when you reclaim, I give you the example of the Atlantic City. Look at the elevation of the Atlantic City to the Victoria Island and Ikoyi. The level at which that reclamation is going on is a little bit higher now.
But the commissioner says it's not a cause.
Yes.
No, it's not a problem.
He says that it's a plus. It's actually helping
let me tell you one thing.
Coastal area.
Let me tell you one thing. I consult with federal government.
Yes.
And I've been in the business of channelization, erosion control, and flood for over 10 years now. It should go back to the drawing board. It is something very visible. When you stand by Ahmadu Bello Way, looking at the Atlantic City, the elevation at which the reclamation is going on is higher. In those days, when there was no such reclamation, what used to cause flooding along the Ahmadu Bello Way at the axis of that where the bar beach is the ocean surge coming out. Ocean surge coming out. And that's why federal government has assisted Lagos State twice. Bar Beach Reclamation 1, Bar Beach Reclamation 2, when Chief Yomi Edu was Minister for Special Duty. We got that opportunity of the reclamation before the commencement of Atlantic City. In fact, that made Lagos State to be one of the highest beneficiaries of ecological fund in the past. Now, they did that reclamation. Then they did the 2-lane of the Ahmadu Bello Way. And when the ocean surge comes, it goes through to Federal Palace and this. This time around, the storm water coming from all the 12 collectors in the Victoria Island and Ikoyi, they are blocked. The storm water cannot take the water into the lagoon. It cannot go through the Atlantic City any longer because they've elevated it. So the effect now goes through the NTA, Bonicamp, and all this, and Cowrie Bridge too. The Cowrie, the collector, that's the canal by Onikon, Obalende up to Ilubirin. It's silted up. So the water now, that area now becomes the lowest gradient point that the water can flow through. That's why easily. You have. Now, let me give you another example. We have never experienced flooding is the Lekki Phase 1 roundabout.
Why is that?
That is to tell you
something is wrong. It happened this time around.
Something is wrong. Since that road was built in the 80s, it has never been flooded. What happened? And the new design of the road has the collectors. They have collector up to the close to Aja by Jakande. They have the site collectors. The site collector, maybe they silted up to, they cannot receive the quantum of water. I hope we are not making mistake. I hope somebody is serious there outside, taking the data of what happened in the last during the last week rainfall, because that data will assist us to plan. I hope School of Oceanography, Federal Ministry of Environment, even Lagos State Government, or maybe they consult NIMET now to give them the statistics of rainfall that we experienced last week.
The governor has come up with this holistic solution to address flooding. What form of solution? What should really form part of the solution?
I'm happy is asking for solution. Since this government started, at least 2 years ago now, I don't think they have put on their Bunsen burner what they want to do about drainage, except the advertisement they gave out sometimes ago that they want to privatize, they want to give drainage collection, drainage clearing and this to some companies. That started since last year. Up till now, I don't think anybody is doing any.
But it's good he's saying so at this time around.
No. I'm happy he has identified one of the causes, but that's not the only causes. He should go back and get his town planning officer to be on their toes to identify some area where drainage channel floodplain has been blocked.
Of course, some experts have talked about the original
the master plan
to be adhered to.
Two, we're having another serious problem.
Okay.
All the dump sites, that is the solid waste management and the sewage, me and you, we are saying population of Lagos is 18 million right now. Every day we produce waste. Lagos is generating close to 13,000 tons of waste every day. Ojota near us here is filled to capacity. It's supposed to have been closed down 10 years ago. Solus 1, Solus 2,
all right,
Solus
you
3.
make more points in just a moment. Let's bring in Foladele to tell us what negotiations, of course, Nigerians are saying about the flooding situation.
But you would never bring me in. Good morning,
Morning
ladies.
to you.
Good morning, Mr. Salau.
Good morning.
So I would like you to pay attention to these tweets. I would like to see if there's anyone you would like to react to. Adafe Matt Esiogena says, the way the world works in my country, a minor incident abroad, and we show solidarity on social media. Flood in Nigeria and it's a joke item. Eric Okafo says, how come Oyinbo people were more prepared for this flood than the rest of us living in Nigeria? And of course, that's referring to the videos we saw of people canoeing and kayaking. Yes. Olorinishala Yorinde says, tale of two worlds, no known death in Lekki flood. Suleja flood, 20 souls died, but Lekki dominates the media, a crime to be poor in Nigeria. And well, Tolu Adetunji said, Lekki is in Lagos State, and that's in response to that tweet. She says, Lekki is in Lagos State. It appears her state government is proactive. Suleja is in Niger State. What is the state government doing? Oyenkuzi says, too many things have happened this year. This flood is just the latest, as if Nigeria's weak foundations are being tested. Banker House Abiodun says, I wonder if car insurance policies in Nigeria cover flood damage. Anik Makoko says, not a single agency in Lagos has given flood forecast or warnings, not even how to manage safety. So, Mr. Salau, is there any...
Well, there were warnings.
There were warnings. There were warnings, actually, and people actually reacted to that particular tweet. But is there any one of these that you would like to react to?
Yeah, the one that says Suleja and that of Lagos. That is where it's true. We thank God the area of Lekki where this happened, enlightened people live there. The power of social media. When this thing happened, a lot of people have started sending messages, please remain indoor, there's flood here, there's this here. So that is power of communication. That's what has helped us in reducing casualty. Because some people might be coming from club, from this, and they run into the flood. So I take that as a plus for us, the power of social media and the enlightenment of the people that come, when flooding happens, all you just need to do, look for the safest area of your house and stay there.
The highest point.
The highest point. The guy playing with the canoeing on the street and this is having fun. It's not that he prepared for the flood. He's just trying to console himself.
He's making lemonade
Yeah,
out of
exactly.
lemons.
Exactly. So that see what your city has become, but it's not only Lagos or Paris was flooded of recent. It's a natural occurrence every year in India.
So the global challenge of climate change.
Yes.
Of course, the rest of the world seems to be on the same page as far as that's concerned. But
yes.
Donald Trump's attitude towards it doesn't seem to be helping matters. How can Nigeria protect itself, really, from the effects of climate change?
We have institutional arrangement, very solid and robust. It is implementation.
That's where the problem is.
That's where the problem is. And the one of Lagos State, the focal point now is this. If the state government want to be serious, they should come up with a holistic approach that future occurrence of this will reduce casualty. And when flood happen, 20% of infrastructure, 20%, be it rail, road, buildings, even human life. And that's why we always say, if you are doing any infrastructural facility, make sure you obey the town planning law, make sure you carry out environmental impact assessment.
But then it's still the responsibility of the government to ensure
That's the responsibility of the government. The responsibility of the people. If I want to buy a land now, instead of me to go to the city land planner or the city land bureau and ask where are the planned area for where I can build my house. I like this area. Is this place floodplain, this and that? We need to start consulting.
Asking such questions.
Instead of going to Omonile and this and that. So because this Omonile issue is now allowing urbanization to happen in different ways. We have people just building their houses without taking cognizance of the provision of the law.
All right, Foladele, I guess we'll have to
I have more questions, but later.
I'm so sure of that.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ido, let me quickly ask you,
yeah.
because now that we are here, the floods are here already, and of course more floods are still expected across the country. And of course there are still the possibility of opening up of dams, for example, Lagdo Dam, and of course and that in the north as well. So what should, not just Lagos State government, of course Lagos State is acting already now, partnering with Israel and putting so many measures in place, but what should the federal government and the other state governments across the country be doing now to stop it from happening again?
Just yesterday, our distinguished senators, they've lent their voice. They said they've raised a motion, they want to assist the two states, they should prepare for more. It's not just to give support to people that are affected. Right now, this will send the executive arm of federal government to all the state capital and everywhere, identify floodplain area, identify some major environmental infrastructure that will assist in deflooding the city, so that when the federal government can assist through the ecological fund. And I will say, if the Lagos State want to be serious, they should just go back to the drawing board, review the master plan of Ikoyi, and in fact, the drainage master plan of Lagos. We have those head drains seated up with vegetation, this and that. We have the secondary collector, primary collector, all seated up. These are areas where federal government can assist individual states. And those 12 collectors in VI, Ikoyi, and this play a major role last week because they are silted up. And problem that got us overwhelmed is this lack of solid waste management.
Okay, so let me take you up on that. You talked about the need for the state government to be serious, and you even broached on the issue of Omonile actually taking over and allowing people to build indiscriminately. Who should be blamed for that? And what exactly should the state government do now so that come next year, we will not be in this sorry pass again, talking about flooding in Lagos?
The government should liaise with the traditional rulers, those who are custodians of our land. Try to let them know, maybe if they would do an open conference or summit to educate the need to start planning with the federal, with the state government agenda.
I'm even talking about the political will. Some people have criticized the lack of political will to do the right thing on the part of government,
over time,
especially when it comes to pulling down structures that are seen to be on canals, long waterways and all of that.
I give it to Lagos State. Lagos State have never derailed in that.
Okay.
They've been doing that on a more serious note. I have worked closely with Lagos State in the last 2 administrations. You understand? Starting from Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In fact, there was a time waste was chasing us here and there.
But there were reports of filling stations being built on.
Oh yes,
yeah.
those are effect of. You know, I told you when flood happened, 20% of infrastructure are affected. Economic activities too are affected. That of the fuel tank being infiltrated with water is normal. It's bound to happen.
I'm not even talking about being infiltrated with water. I'm talking about filling stations being built on channels.
On channels.
Like channels
across Dolphin Estate, for example.
They have to carry out survey of these structures that are blocking the right way of water. They have to carry out the survey, mark them, relocate them, and at the same time, if they want to compensate them, fine. But they must have for the approved paper. If they have genuine paper, they can sue Lagos. They can sue the government. Who gave them that permission? So that's why they have to work hand in hand together
with the government to make Lagos a safer place. Thank you very much, Idowu Salawu. You're an environmental consultant. Thank you for your analysis on the problem of flooding in Lagos and, of course, Nigeria at large.